Today we will be talking about a passage called Natalia's Challenge. We are going to read it together and then answer the questions together. This will focus on character traits and, of course, what we've been working on this week theme and the central message. And then tomorrow you will be doing a passage very similar to this with very similar questions. So make sure you're paying attention. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and I will help explain anything you don't understand. So again, we're going to be practicing our Unreal strategy. So we have our UNREAL. Oh, capital L. Okay, so first we are underlining our title, Natalia's Challenge. So we have to figure out what her challenge is. And then the next one would be number our paragraphs. Well, it looks like they already numbered our paragraphs for us. So that's great. There are 12 paragraphs. Next one says R, we're reading our questions. So which sentence best describes Natalia before she first meets Ms. Spiro? So we're going to see how she is before she meets her teacher or whoever Ms. Spiro is. Number 2, Natalia's interaction with her mother shows Natalia is blank. So again, focusing on her relationship with her mother. 3, Ms. Spiro wants Natalia to fill out the questionnaire on her own, mainly because why? Natalia's conversation with Ms. Spiro throughout the story shows that Natalia, so how's she feeling? So that character change from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. 5, why are paragraphs 1 through 3 important to the story? So we're going to go look at those specific paragraphs. 6, what is the central message of the story? 7, what does the phrase smile was as bright as the morning sun mean in paragraph 3? And 8, read the sentence from paragraph 9. What does the phrase seemed farther than the stars show about Natalia? So a lot to think about, but again, we're looking at that relationship Natalia has with her mom and with her teacher. All right, now we have to read this selection. So paragraph 1, follow along on the screen while I read it. And Natalia was full of love when the new teacher joined her school. Natalia knew almost every teacher in her elementary school. They all loved her and she loved all of them. She was sure she would be Miss Spiro's favorite in no time. Lucky for Natalia, Miss Spiro was going to teach 3rd grade. Even better, she was the teacher from Natalia's section. I will get to impress her on Meet the Teacher night, Natalia thought to herself. On Wednesday night, Natalia and her mother walked in with school supplies to Natalia's new classroom. Natalia spotted the desk with her name. She put the heavy bag down and raced to her teacher. Hi, I am Natalia, and I'm the best student in class, the child, nearly out of breath, introduced herself. Her smile was as bright as the morning sun. And this is my mother. Will you please put your supplies where they belong? Miss Spiro demanded. She then went on to talk to Natalia's mother. On seeing that Natalia was puzzled, she added, Yes, by yourself, so you know where things are in the classroom. She continued talking to Mrs. Maria Lopez. She already does not like me. She has not even talked to me. Natalia put away her notebooks, markers, and such grumpily. Good job, Ms. Barrow said, and handed Natalia a sheet of paper. Now, please fill out this questionnaire to the best of your knowledge. Then she chatted with Mrs. Lopez some more. I do not know what some of these words mean. I cannot even ask my mother, Natalia sadly thought, and looked in her mother's direction. Do you have a question, sweetheart? Mrs. Lopez asked her only child. Natalia was crouched in her small desk. She looked at her mother, who seemed farther than the stars. What is... Natalia began in a nervous voice. Let me see, Miss Barrow said, before Natalia could complete her question. Whoa, you answered more questions than anyone else in this class. Good job. You can take it home and bring it back completed on Monday. Okay, Natalia muttered. Now, tell me about you. Anything else besides being the best in class? Miss Barrow asked in a calm voice. All right, so now that we are done reading, so that was our R, we have our E. We're going to eliminate any wrong answers. We're going to answer the question, and we are going to look back for our evidence. So we kind of do all those 3 together. So you got to eliminate, answer the question, and look back to make sure our answer is correct. So number 1, it says, which sentence best describes Natalia before she first meets Miss Spiro? So we have A, she knows Miss Spiro is already impressed with her. B, she is sure Miss Spiro will like her after meeting her. C, she feels good that she is the best in Miss Barrow's class, or D, she thinks Miss Barrow is being difficult to please. Well, this question, if we look back, it says, what's it describe Natalia before she first meets Miss Barrow? So looking through, she knows Miss Barrow's already impressed with her. Well, if she hasn't met her yet, how could she be impressed with her? So no. B, she is sure Miss Barrow will like her after meeting her. Okay, maybe. C, she feels good that she's the best in Miss Barrow's class. Again, this story doesn't really say that she's the best at this point because class hasn't started. Indeed, she thinks Miss Barrow is being difficult to please. She hasn't met her yet. She doesn't know if she's difficult. So just talking through those, we already came up with a pretty good answer, but let's go back and look. So it says she is sure Miss Barrow will like her after meeting her. So going up to the top before she even meets her, it says that she goes to school. Every other teacher loves her, and right here it says she was sure she would be Miss Barrow's favorite in no time. So that right there tells us number one is B. She is sure that before she even meets her that Miss Barrow will like her. Number two, Natalia's interaction with her mother shows Natalia is rude and bratty to her mother, used to not being helped by her mother, not used to asking her mother for help, or very close to her mother. Well, going up and looking at the story, I'll use a different color for this. We'll do that color. Okay. Well, when they first walk in, first of all, her mom is coming to meet the teacher night with her. So that's huge. That shows her mom cares. It says that Natalia and her mother walked in with school supplies. So her mom is helping her carry school supplies. Scrolling down a little bit. When she's asked to do the questionnaire, she makes the comment, I cannot even ask my mother. So that shows that she asks her mother for help. Here, her mom even says, like, do you have a question? So she's used to checking on her daughter. So knowing all that, going back and looking at these answers, she's rude and bratty to her mother. She's not. She's used to not being helped by her mother. Well, if you're used to not being helped, you probably wouldn't ask for help. But she does ask for help. She's not used to asking her mother for help. No. She's very close to her mother. I believe the answer is J. She's very close to her mother. She's not afraid to ask her for help. Her mom came with her tonight. It shows that they're very close. Number 3, Miss Barrow wants Natalia to fill out the questionnaire on her own, mainly because she thinks third graders should do everything alone. She dislikes her students doing things by themselves. She wants to know how much Natalia can answer by herself. She wants to prove Natalia is not the best in class. I get a different answer. Well, she thinks third graders should do everything alone. She didn't exactly say that. She didn't say, I think third graders should do this on their own because of this, and this. No, she didn't come out and say that. She dislikes her students doing things by themselves. Well, if she disliked her students doing things by themselves, she would want them to do with someone else. She's trying to get Natalia to do stuff by herself. She wants to know how much Natalia can answer by herself, or she wants to prove Natalia is not the best in class. Well, she didn't say anything when Natalia said, I'm the best in class. She didn't say, oh, really? Prove it to me. And later on in the story, she talks about how she wants to get to know her even more. So that's not correct either. So C, she wants to know how much Natalia can answer herself. And let me scroll up a little bit. In paragraph 6, it says, now please fill out the questionnaire to the best of your knowledge. She didn't say, I want it to be exactly right. She just said to try your best. And she wanted to know what she knows. Paragraph 4, Natalia's conversation with Ms. Barrow throughout the story shows that Natalia changes from being confident to unsure, changes from being liked to not being liked, remains sure that Ms. Barrow will like her, remains unhappy that Ms. Barrow is her teacher. Well, so we're looking from how she changed from the beginning to the end. So I see one that jumps out right at me. It says, remains unhappy that Ms. Barrow is her teacher. In the beginning, she was super excited that she's her teacher. So if we're looking from how she changes from the beginning to the end, right off the bat, she was already happy that Ms. Barrow is her teacher. So that doesn't make sense. So we have to look for, she goes from confident to unsure. She changes from being liked to not being liked, or she remains sure that Ms. Barrow will like her. So we're going to go back up. At the beginning, you can see it says, all the teachers love her. I'm sure she'll love me. I can't wait to impress her. I meet the teacher night, so I can't wait to impress her. And then they come in and she says, hi, I'm the best student in the class. And the teacher responds with, just put your stuff away where it belongs. And then when she says she's done, she gives her a questionnaire to fill out. And we see Natalia had these thoughts. She already does not like me. She's not even talked to me. So knowing all that, we're going to go back down and look. So remain sure that Ms. Barrow will like her. Well, with those thoughts that we underlined, she's saying, no, she doesn't like me. I'm not sure. And then now we have to choose between she changes from being confident to unsure, or changes from being liked to not being liked. Well, she thinks that she's not liked, but did Miss Barrow come out and say, oh, I don't like you? No, she did not. Natalia changes from being confident to unsure. She was so sure that the teacher would like her. And then we saw those thoughts that, oh, maybe she won't like me. Maybe I'm not the best. So right here, 4 is F. Why are paragraphs 1 and 3 important to the story? So they show Natalia's big plans to impress her new teacher. They show Natalia's strong wish to be liked by the new teacher. They show Natalia's failure to impress the new teacher. They show Natalia's needs help. They show Natalia needs help in being liked by the new teacher. So we are going to scroll up and we're going to read paragraphs 1 and 3 again. So 1, and 3. Natalia was full of joy when the new teacher joined her school. Natalia knew almost every teacher in her elementary school. They all loved her and she loved all of them. She was sure she would be Miss Barrow's favorite in no time. So that one's all about how she's sure she's going to be liked. 3, hi, I'm Natalia and I'm the best student in class. The child, nearly out of breath, introduced herself. Her smile was as bright as the morning sun, and this is my mother. So again, right here, she's all happy. She's all excited to meet her new teacher and impress her. So why are they important? They show Natalia's big plans to impress the new teacher. Well, it doesn't have really any details about the plans. It just says she wants to impress her. So there's not really any big plans. They show Natalia's strong wish to be liked by the new teacher. Yes, it says that she wants to impress her. C, they show Natalia's failure. No, by then she wasn't failing at anything. And D, they show Natalia's needs help in being liked. Again, it doesn't show that she needs help. It just shows that she's trying to impress her. So the answer is B. 6 was the central message of the story. Something that is here may be gone soon. Sometimes it is easy to prepare for new things. People can be happy even during hard times. Things do not always turn out as planned. Okay, so sometimes something that is here may be gone soon. There's nothing really that's there and then taken away in the story. So that can't be right. Sometimes it's easy to prepare for new things. Again, it doesn't really show that she's preparing for anything. People can be happy even during hard times. It's not really any hard times right now. She is having a hard time impressing her teacher, and she is not happy during this difficulty. And then J, things do not always turn out as planned. Natalia came in and said, oh, she's going to love me. I'm super excited to impress this teacher. But that did not exactly happen. The teacher wasn't as impressed as she thought she would be. She still wanted to get to know her, but she didn't just start loving her like all the other teachers did right away. So J, sometimes things don't always go as planned. 7, what does the phrase smile as bright as the morning sun mean in paragraph 3? So that's when she was talking to her right here. Her smile was as bright as the morning sun, and this is my mother. It's when she was introducing herself. So you have a Natalia's smile shows her great happiness. The light in the room makes Natalia seem bright. Natalia feels her happiest in the morning time, or the light in the room makes it harder for Natalia to see. Well, if her smile is nice and bright when you're meeting someone new, you're excited, you're happy. So it would be A. Natalia's smile shows her great happiness. It didn't say anything about the light in the room. It didn't say anything about her feeling happy in the morning. So the correct answer is A. And last one, read the sentence from paragraph 9. What does the phrase seem farther than the stars shown about Natalia? So in paragraph 9, if we go back right here. Natalia was crouched in her small desk. She looked at her mother, who seemed farther than the stars. What is, Natalia began in a nervous voice. So that's when she was filling out the questionnaire. She was all by herself filling it out. So it says she is not used to being in a big classroom. She sits too far from her mother and the teacher. She feels helpless without her mother's help. She feels the questionnaire is too difficult. So the first one, it didn't really mention the size of the room, and I don't think we're talking literally about the distance. We're talking more non-literal language. So that one's incorrect. 2, she sits too far from her mother and the teacher. Again, we're not really talking about specific distance. And also, she's more focused on her mother than her teacher. So talking about the teacher wouldn't be correct in this answer. 8, she feels helpless without her mother's help. Or J, she feels the questionnaire is too difficult. So in this last one, the sentence focuses on Natalia's feelings for her mother and not really on the questionnaire. So it would not be this one. So H, she feels helpless without her mother's help. The author uses non-literal language to describe how Natalia feels when her mother seems out of her reach and she needs help with the questionnaire. By saying that the mother seems farther than the stars, the author shows how much Natalia feels like she needs her and she needs her to be near her. So the correct answer is 8H. So again, these questions were confusing a little bit, but if we took it step by step, we were able to figure out our correct answers. You will be doing one like this tomorrow. We'll read it through together, and then you will be responsible for the questions.